Hey everyone, welcome to the second week here of our training videos. Hope everyone enjoyed the first one. Pretty neat that we can put these out for you guys to check out, continue learning. Any responses you guys have, please add those in the notes in your work order. If you have any questions or ideas or anything, we appreciate the feedback for sure. Make sure you guys are seeing these. Thanks for the ones out there that are marking these ready for office, doing the PCRs, and really appreciating that we're putting the time into it. So, a couple items today that I'm going to run by, and hopefully, you guys will get someone different next week and won't be continuing having to see me. Um, so, First of all, I want to talk about storm damage. We all know because the hurricane back there that we're coming across these FSM properties now that we're getting the first inspection since the storm. We need to make sure that we're reaching out immediately when we come across a property that has any and all storm damage. So reach out to the state rep, let them know what's going on there. We'll get a work order put in place and we'll get that cured. Number one thing we're seeing is roof leaks again, guys, coming across them. So we talked about that last week. You know what to do. Let's get that thing remedied, patched, and reach out from site on that. So hopefully everyone's having good luck with reaching out from site to us. We do know that the calls get pretty crazy here in the office. Sometimes it's hard to get a hold of your state rep. So please, if you're available to send an email, everyone's consistently on their computer. If there's a good way to send an email from site, you'll get a response on that right away too. So I know that's the way I prefer to do it. Just buzz a quick email on what you're seeing with a photo. With the technology we all have, we should have a phone out there that does a photo and has internet, so we can buzz that picture, a quick email out. If you need to reach out via phone, go ahead and do that too. We're always here to take the call. So okay, guys, moving forward, if you're not 100% on if or how to remedy something at a property, please call your state rep so they can make a decision. Don't put all the decision on your shoulders. If you're not sure about it, send a text or even send a picture like we were talking about. A couple things I want to go over is a hazard sheet that we have, checklist in place, going over some common items. Um, Mold, when we come across mold, guys, it must be sprayed with bleach or kills after drying. Uh, may bid for serious cases, but we're trying to just remedy that on site. Cracked boarded windows, sliding doors, these must be reglazed, and provide a bid for reglaze and dimensions if the frame's damaged or something like that. You guys will hear me say this time and time again. There's not many cases I come across where I cannot reglaze a window, even with the missing frame. I'll still get that piece of glass cut for the necessary size and get it siliconed in there. So I push that all the time, and hopefully you guys will safely be able to do that and get anything reglazed. And we want to do that as soon as possible on that hipper, or if anything's broken on the FSM, we'll go ahead and reach out from site and let us know so we can add that to your work order to get that reglazed. In extreme cases, if an area is notorious for crime, vandalism, please be advised before taking any action, as we may seek alternative solutions. High vandalism areas, stuff like that. And then permanent boarding must be approved. We know in some areas they won't accept approved boarding at all. In some areas they will if it is high vandalism, etc. So per case, we'll take that, guys, but reglaze is always our first option. Outlets and switches. Remember, during the HIPAA initials, anytime you see any of these things damaged or missing, they must be clean and intact with all screw points fastened. Any with damaged, missing covers must have new covers installed. If ever unable to install a cover for structural flaws, please bring it to the attention of your state rep. So we're always trying to replace those outlet covers with new outlets. So please remember that. Water and gas lines. Gas lines must be capped. Open water lines ensure water is in the off position. So remember, guys, during your FSM right now, it's crucial that you look at and make sure that the water remains off during the winterization season. You might have been there to winterize, but don't ever trust that no one's come between you, your last inspection, and the new one, and not turn that water on. And now we have a liability at that asset. So make sure we go ahead and check the water meter every time we're there. Every routine visit as well. If water meters are locked off and the lock is cut, You must show evidence of this in your routine report and notify us immediately to avoid potential blame for cutting that lock. So make sure we're not cutting any of those locks off the water meter, stuff like that. If there's a lock on there, fine. We shouldn't be locking any of those. We use a simple zip tie. So exposed electrical wires all must be capped, taped, and tucked in from the ceilings. Any electrical boxes, panels, etc. missing covers must have covers installed. Electrical panels missing switches must have blanks installed. All breakers must be in the off position, must be checked with every visit. So just make sure you guys know wires are exposed, and those panels are big. You might even open the panel and see that it's missing the inside panel, so it's just all exposed with the wires. Let's go ahead and put a padlock on that, the main outside case. Go ahead and padlock that bad boy so no one can get into those exposed wires. That'd be fine with the 389 lock. Vents, any missing damaged floor vent must be reattached if available or covered with plywood to prevent the potential trip hazard. So simple vent in the floor, guys. If it's missing, we want to put a piece of plywood over it, screw it down, and then use red tape and put over the edges because you've created the trip hazard. So little red tape around the trip hazard part of the plywood. Be good to go. Dryer vents must be sealed with duct tape or a cap, whatever you choose. Duct tape will work just fine. That's included with the initials. It's required. I'm sure you've been hit up with a follow-up if that wasn't taken care of. So graffiti, all offensive graffiti must be covered. Can just paint over it with white kills if it's a white wall. We're trying to match, you guys, the closest color that we can. We're not there to paint the whole wall and trim and everything. We're just trying to cover that with light color paint. This should be a very cheap thing. I go to Home Depot for $7-8 and get 4 or 5 different 1 gallon jugs of paint from the ones that they miscreated the color or whatever it might be. Just their remnants is what I'm looking for on the paint. So $7-8 you can get a gallon of paint, different colors, have them on you, roller, boom, 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 10-minute deal. If it's extreme cases, the whole house, feel free to reach out and we can add a little bit on there. We're not trying to get you guys to repaint the whole property. Secure the property. Remember, during the HIPAA, we're responsible for changing 2 doorknobs to access the property. Same key codes. Any gates, garage doors, outbuilding entries, crawl spaces, entries must be secured. There's some if-ands about the gates. We're not required to do those if there's no AC unit in the back or a pool, so we don't have to put a 389 lock on everything. But if there's an AC unit and a pool, depending on your area, reach out to your state rep if you have any question on what padlock that is. The 1S area has an extra padlock, so we're just using the 389 back east. Windows and sliding glass doors must be checked, see if they're locked. Install the thumb locks if needed to secure if the broken lock's not. MFS Supply has those thumb locks, is what they're called. Really cool for the tracks and prevent any issues there. So handrails and guardrails, guys, we're really running into some issues there, some follow-ups. Please make sure that the rails must be installed in instances where a staircase has at least 2 or more steps. 3 steps. So anything over 2 steps is where we need a handrail. So at least 3 steps. And remember, on the deck patios, if there's a drop at least 36 inches above the ground, we need to go ahead and install a guardrail there. So please make sure we're installing the guardrails on the handrails above 36 inches and the drop off 24 inches. So thanks, wanted to clarify that. Pools are considered secure and will not require covers when surrounded by fencing and gates secured with padlocks. Back east, that is not the case. We still need to get a pool cover bid put in place on any below pools. So we also want to secure the gates, but we need to get a pool cover bid for the ones back east and in the ground. So trip hazards, you guys: loose peeling linoleum, tile, hardwood can be secured with tape. Loose or frayed carpet can be secured with duct tape or the roof tacks. Use discretion. just prefer to just use that red tape. Really, I mean, if you had to tack it down a little bit, it wouldn't hurt, but the red tape usually takes care of those. So, buckled carpets, we may need to stretch those to eliminate the trip hazard if we can't if it's just not a couple minor areas for the red tape. So, reach out. Excuse me, if you think the carpet's in good condition, it just really needs re-stretched, and we'll look into that as an option. We all know kind of where we're at with the carpets that are badly stained with urine, fecal, blood, etc., whatever it is. These have to be removed. Please provide the photos of the carpets so we can approve removal of the carpet. And everyone remember, this is included in the 20-yard minimum at an initial service for the carpet removal. If we're going to go over the 20 yards, please reach out. If that's photo documented, we can approve the 20-yard in addition to the 20 yards if that makes it go over with the exterior debris, interior debris, and then the carpet. So we definitely will take care of you guys in that case. Appliances, if they appear to be broken or below quality conditions, they must be removed. We have to approve those, guys, so please reach out. Let us know what you're removing, and we'll also mark that on the HIPAA, obviously. That's about it on the main stuff there. I also just want to touch on occupied properties real quick, guys, before I wrap this up. If you come across a property during a HIP or initial FSM and it is occupied, our goal is to get as much info as we can from the occupant. We're not there to hey, you guys need to get out, this and that. We want to find out who they are, who they're renting from, get some photos, verify the address, get some photos of the exterior, get the street sign like we are, and see if we can get some information from them. Usually people are pretty nice and are like, oh, we're renting from so-and-so. Sometimes they're not also, so we can't do everything, but we're trying to get as much info as we can, and then so we can notify HUD that someone's in their property. So please use caution with those situations, but make sure we get as much information as we can. But it wouldn't just be show up, someone's there, turn around and leave. Let's get photos to the proof that they're there. The water meter is on, the gas line's open, truck in the driveway. Let's get the photos. We're there. Let's make sure we can justify a trip charge and all that stuff with the photos. So besides that, everything's going great, guys. Another great week at BLM and with each and every one of you contractors out there. We're excited about the future. Tons of work out there. We're glad everyone's safe from the back east storms and wherever you may be. Thanks for all you guys do on a continued basis every day, and please stay safe out there. We will be changing these videos up. Like I said, someone else will be on these. Change it up a little. We'd like to have some infield stuff, so please continue to check these out and go to the PCR form at this point and fill out a couple questions that I've went over during this video. I'd appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys soon, and have a great day. Thanks.